What's happening, guys? I hope everyone's having a great day. So it's finally here, the movie that everyone's been talking about, the highly anticipated new film in the Marvel MCU, Doctor Strange.
I've spent so many years peering through time, looking for you.
Doctor Strange is directed by Scott Derrickson, which in my opinion was a slightly odd choice given he has spent much of his career in the horror genre, but regardless, he directs a beautifully polished and visually stunning film, and we also have Benedict Cumberbatch coming in to fill the shoes of Doctor Strange, and the rest of the cast is filled up by Chiwetel Ejiofor, Tilda Swinton, Mads Mikkelson, Rachel McAdams, and Benedict Wong. So this story introduces us to Dr. Stephen Strange. He's a brilliant neurosurgeon, one of the top minds in his field. The only problem is he's as arrogant as he is intelligent. He is kind of lost touch with his emotions. He's more focused on his own stature in the work field as regards to patient care, but one night he gets into an accident, he loses full control of his hands, and he basically spends all his fortune trying to get them repaired to no result, and he ends up turning over to the mystical side of magic in the mountains of Nepal. He meets the Ancient One, he becomes Doctor Strange, and you pretty much get where this is going. Now first, I will admit I was one of the many that waited in line for over an hour just to see 15 minutes of this movie during the IMAX sneak peek, even when I do have a life in a busy schedule, but I will say the 15 minutes of this movie that I did see really made me want to see it, and it did its job in just pulling me in and making me want more. I think the cast from top to bottom was fantastic, and I think Benedict Cumberbatch was an excellent choice for this character. There's no denying his skills as an actor, and I think he put all of them on full display in this movie. He felt every bit the part of Doctor Strange, and he seemed perfectly tailored for the exaggerated arrogance of the character, but he was able to carry this film on his shoulders, and I think in one performance he was able to make the role his own. And I really enjoyed Tilda Swinton and Chiwetel Ejiofor as well. They were both great. They both added a lot of substance to the film with their performances. They made the most out of their characters, and I really enjoyed watching these trio work together as they kind of explained the mystical theme of the movie, and they all built nice strong chemistry between the characters that really were fitting for the dynamics. Now as for Mads Mikkelson, now if you go back to my video on the IMAX sneak peek of this movie, you will see that I had high hopes for his character and his performance in this film. I have seen him play the bad guy and the villain in many other films before, and he does an excellent job at it, but he was completely Disneyed in this movie, and with the substance he had to work with and how his character was portrayed in this film, he basically had about as good of a chance as creating a villain as a one-legged man in an ass-kicking contest. And once again, Marvel fails to come anywhere close to creating an ominous villain for a film, but as for an origin story, I knew nothing about Doctor Strange going into this movie, but I thought it effectively created a nice picture of who this character is and what his capabilities were. But it seems like ever since this Disney and Marvel merger, the films have gotten more and more of a Disney imprint on them. The storylines seem to be kind of just generic carbon copies of the other, and they're not resulting in bad movies, just movies that aren't really as compelling as the others. The visuals though were stunning, they were top of the line, it was cutting edge 3D, it was about as immersive as a film can get. I think the portrayal of the magic was awesome, everything looked crisp, there was just detail everywhere you looked on the screen. This aspect of the film completely blew me away and had me pulled in. You add that with just extremely detailed wardrobes, excellent locations, detailed and crisp set designs, and it was just fun to sit back and feast on everything there was to look at. The problem with this movie, and the thing that just completely disappointed me, was the copy and paste story that it followed. Now, Marvel said the MCU was going to be taking a bold new directional step with this character. He's unique, he's just from a different world, he can bend time and just multiple layers of the universe. All this stuff I was hoping I could geek out over, but really it just follows the same old story we have seen in the other films, following all the stops along the way. But I will say for the first 30 or 40 minutes I was completely intrigued with this movie. I was 100% lured in as this character was introduced and the story of who he was built up. But then as soon as he gets his Doctor Strange powers, you kind of cue the villain as subplot, add your action sequence in the middle of the film, some grounded sequences with Rachel McAdams, a mild twist, and then your climactic ending, and it's your neat and tidy little Marvel movie. Now don't get me wrong, this was a fun film to sit back and watch. The performances were all fantastic and the visuals were amazing, and they all do a great job of masking a routine storyline that really doesn't take any chances. It just felt like a storyline that wasn't nearly as ambitious and as intricate and unique as the character was. I definitely do recommend checking this movie out in theaters though, and in IMAX and 3D if you really want to get the full effect of things. It was a wild ride of an adventure. It had many extraordinary moments, but just as many ordinary ones, but I'll still give Doctor Strange a solid B. And that's my review on Doctor Strange, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. Let me know in the comments below what you thought of this movie. If you've seen it yet, did you like it? Did you love it? If you haven't seen it, what are you looking forward to? Thank you so much for watching. As always, guys, I definitely appreciate it. I'm Anthony. This is a Silver Screen Analysis, and I'll see you guys at the movies.